Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Superstars of Wrestling review for the 26th of September, 1987. Still loving the stuff going through 87. There are some great YouTube uploaders who make this stuff possible and make it more manageable to get through the modern day trash that we have to live through wrestling wise. Going back and remembering when wrestling mattered is a good thing. Anyway, got nearly 2,400 of these available. Anyway, Bam Bam Bigelow against Barry Horowitz kicking off the show. Bam Bam, newly managed by Sir Oliver Humperdinck within the last couple of months. Of course, many people bidding for the rights to manage Bam Bam doesn't get anybody except Humperdinck, which is kind of an interesting, kind of a throwback to Arnold Skaaland. Anyway, some punches, cartwheels, and a body slam by Bigelow. Bigelow actually this run is in a babyface the entire time, which is just weird to me. But hits a slingshot and the top rope headbutt and gets a victory. Does Bigelow. Then we go to the interview set. The promise of Honky Tonk Man and Randy Savage going at it is up next, and basically there is a Honky Tonk Man saying that he can assault Elizabeth and get away with it. Elizabeth and Jimmy Hart doing the talking here. Savage dares the Honky Tonk Man to get in the ring. They're going towards the main event here in the area, and ultimately the show kicks on in the background as I was finishing double reviewing. My apologies for that. Anyway, the Young Stallions against the Shadows. Paul Roma and Jim Powers. I don't know that they're officially called the Young Stallions yet, although I think commentary they called them the Young Stallions. Powers and Roma are the Young Stallions up through the early part of '88, and the Shadows, two masked guys. Pretty basic. Some double team maneuvers. Basically trying to do the Can-Am connection all over again. Shadows are two masked guys in bodysuits who run their guys together, and very basic here. The punch kick and the Shadows in control of the majority of the early parts of the match. Nothing major to write home about, but at the same time, some hard shots by the Shadows. Here, Shadows also get tagged in. Big body slam, power slam by Jim Powers. 1, 2, 3, and off we go. Anyway, Randy Savage promising to get his hands on the Honky Tonk Man upcoming at various shows. There is also the promise that they will eventually go at it with each other in upcoming house shows. The Hart Foundation, Jim Neidhart, and Bret Hart. Sonny Rogers, S.D. Jones, their opponents for the day. The Hart Foundations are your tag team champions, I believe, still here in 1987. It's 87, and or former tag team champions, as it were, actually. Backbreakers by the Hearts managing to stay on Sonny Rogers pretty consistently. Of course, Neidhart and Hart, good tag team together for a couple of years, and the World Tag Team Champion Hart Foundation hit the heart attack and get the win in just under 4 minutes or so. Then we go to more hype for the Boston Garden, which is where we end up going. Jim Duggan, Terry Gibbs. Duggan, I believe, had been let go from the WWF a couple of months, or within a couple of months of this. Punch, kick, and cinch up on side headlocks, and a suplex by Duggan. Duggan going after Terry Gibbs for quite a while here. Duggan also hits the running tackle clothesline combination, and Duggan gets victorious relatively quickly. Type for the Piledriver album, and the stars of the WWF talking about seeing things as a big deal for Piledriver, and they hype that various other people are there. And then we go to the Islanders against Brady Boone and Jim Evans. Pretty good here. Anyway, so clotheslines, and ultimately the Islanders, of course, now newly managed within the last couple of months by Bobby the Brain Heenan. Big body slams by Tama. Tama, a guy that I honestly think could have been a major star, but never really went too terribly far here. Then we go to, and it just Haku overshadowed him, really. But anyway, punch kick, basic stuff, back kick, and the double team maneuver by the Islanders, kind of getting the top rope clothesline. and a victory for the Islanders here. Highlights of the war between the Islanders and Strike Force, as it were, going into that turn. Also hype for the Survivor Series, as it were. And now we go to Randy Savage and Rick Renshaw taking on each other here. And Savage, of course, your former Intercontinental Champion alongside Elizabeth. Savage gets a couple of body slams off, hits the top rope, elbow smash, and gets a super quick victory. Butch Reed coming up at the Boston Garden will take on none other than Superstar Billy Graham. Reed promising to get rid of Graham once and for all, which he does before Survivor Series 87. So he kind of is prophetic that he is the one to run the man out along with the one-man gang doing the majority of the work. But the feud with Reed also gets him the credit for the maneuver. Anyway, we will close after that, and we'll be back right after this.